We're a mom and son travel duo,
inspiring authors,
sharing world adventures with you, and inspiring dreams, bringing inspiration for creation to you,
exploring the world and finding greatness.
We're here to energize your dreams and adventures through travel.
Hey guys! Welcome back on Global Footprint Stories podcast. I'm your host, Jonah Sium.
And I am his mom, Deborah and we are the mom and son travel duo and authors. And we are here to tell our stories. We are excited to be here for this episode to discuss. Our topic today is going to be about traveling with children. So one question we always get is, why do you travel with your kids so much? And one thing is reasons to travel with kids. We're going to say that. We're going to talk about that more in detail.
Yeah, more.
But one thing we're also going to discuss is why not to travel, why people don't want to travel with their kids. Some of the reasons that people give. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell Jonah about the reasons why people don't want to travel, and then we can discuss them, right?
Okay.
And then we can give them an answer. What people are concerned because when they don't want to travel.
Sometimes they're scared about
traveling
outside of the U.S.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So one of the when we did our research, some of the different things that they said, their reasonings is traveling with kids is not worth it. Was one of the comments.
What is totally worth it? Right? I always loved traveling.
Yeah, but they're saying it's not worth it because there's stress that goes with it, the parents have to pay for everything and then they have to pack everything, and then when they get there it might not be worth it. The kids, so then they're do you think it will be worth it to go? Do you think it's do you remember it?
I don't really remember the first trip. Mm-hmm. Was it hard for you? A little bit?
It's not. So that's another thing they say. They say it's kids don't appreciate it. They don't and they don't remember it.
Oh, I'll always remember.
You always remember, right? And that's the thing. So when you travel with kids, they might not remember every aspect of the travel, but they do remember bits and pieces. And especially when you have pictures, you can refer back to them. That's what you do, right?
That's why you take pictures and then I look back at them.
Exactly. And the experience as well. You have stories to tell from each of the countries we've been to, except when you were, under 2, you don't remember those, right?
Like Dominican Republic.
Yes, exactly. Well, when you were under 3, you don't remember. But Cuba, you remember.
Cuba, I do, but I was almost 4, so.
That's why you remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But, so, anyway, that's the reason, right? That you have to travel with kids, because they do remember, and in the stuff that they don't remember, you have pictures, and you have memories.
Yeah, and always, bring a camera, an extra camera, so, you catch a cool thing and you want your child, it doesn't even have to be your child, even you, both of you can remember it.
Yeah, so camera is important.
Yeah, camera is always important.
And also, traveling, one of the big things for traveling that makes it worth it for me as a mom is the fact that I get to grow my bond with my son. Because when you travel, you are just having so much fun and you're experiencing so many different things, and it's a personal, intimate time that you're spending with your family that nothing, so that makes it fun. That makes it completely worth it, basically.
Yes.
Yes, right?
So that's why I think, and you think it's worth it.
Exactly. And then, and I also think another reason that's important is you're showing your children the world. Yeah, you're exposing them.
Yeah, you're exploring the world.
And exposing them to different cultures, different languages, different foods, and different type of people, and geography. So it's worth it. Yeah, because people do wear different clothes in different countries, right? Yeah, so I agree. And so because of that, that's why it's so important to travel with your kids. So another reason people say they don't want to travel is because flying with kids can be too stressful, like I said. Yeah. And then it might not be safe to travel outside the country.
Sometimes people say it's not safe, but it actually ends up like you gotta just research safe places. Like if you want to go to, like when we went to Cuba, we want to go to Cuba, and you're scared that it's not safe, and you're going with your child. Search up safe places and stay there.
And not only safe places, but also activities to do and stuff like that. Like you can find all of that research.
Go to the beach.
Yeah, go to the beach, go see museums, and do so many other activities during the day. I always do recommend doing, when you are traveling, to just do everything you have to do during the day, and at night just stay at the hotel or go for dinner and come back to the hotel, and not be out so late.
In the day, so that, because nighttime is not as safe.
You wouldn't know, because any country, like even here in the U.S., right? At nighttime, you have to be careful. So anywhere you live in the world, at night, you just have to be careful. So just like that, when you're traveling, especially with kids, I wouldn't recommend doing many activities at night. It would be more during the day.
Yeah.
And then at night, you can just hang out at the pool, at the hotel, right? Is that what we do?
Like
and we have dinner nearby, and then just hang out.
Yeah, like you don't want to go too far from where you're staying at night.
Exactly. So, and then I think it also, another thing that traveling does is it teaches you responsibility, right? So how does it teach you responsibility?
Well, I don't really,
because you have to pack your stuff.
Yeah,
you have to know where you're going, because you are a timekeeper. We gotta, stay.
Yeah,
we have to be at the airport.
You usually, this time. And then go to the plane. We gotta be by boarding pass this time, and then when we get there, we're gonna do this, and then after this.
Yeah, and then you pack your stuff.
Pack
yourself.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I pack my own stuff now.
Yeah.
And what else?
And I guess another responsibility that it teaches you is also money, because sometimes when we have cash and we don't want to keep going to the ATM to take out money, you help me make sure like we're staying like on track, right? Like in Colombia.
Like that's another thing. Like if we're going to like what you just said, Colombia.
Yeah.
And they don't use like actual US dollars.
Yeah.
You have to instead go to the ATM and get money from there, from the ATM.
Exactly. And then you help me keep track of that money.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, when I do this thing and buy this, an excursion and this and that, an activity.
Like when you put it in your purse and then the next day, where did I put it?
Yeah.
I remember.
You remember, and you also subtract it, right? Like, I spent it on this, I spent it on that. You're like, Mommy, well, you spent 200 on the shirt you bought. 200 peso, let's say, or something like that. So you always keep track and subtract it from whatever we took out. So that's responsibility as well. Money is teaching you how to budget too, money-wise, which is a big responsibility. When you're traveling with kids, you do have to budget your trip.
And I'm also learning about money.
At school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like teaching kids about money and the value of it, and then budgeting at such an early age is extremely important. I mean, we do budgets even at home, right? We always say like, this is how we're going to spend, and this is what we're going to stay with. This is our weekly budget. Yep.
Weekly budget, we don't go over that.
And Jonah keeps track of it. So and when we travel, he does the same thing. He keeps track of it as well. So it does teach children like responsibility in every way that you can think of when you are traveling outside the country. Yeah.
So what are some other things?
Another thing that they said is also is too expensive to travel with kids.
Well, sometimes it is.
Yeah, sometimes it is. It depends where you're going. Again, that goes to the research, and also it also goes to booking things early. If you book your accommodations early,
then
hotel and flight and activities, if you do it early,
then they'll be cheap.
Then it will be reasonable. But if you wait till last minute, then it could be very expensive.
Like you're going on a Wednesday and then you leave on that next Friday.
Or like the following Friday even. That's too... Like you want to do it like a month ahead, 3 weeks ahead, basically. If you can do it 2, 3, 4 months ahead, that's even better. And everything will be cheaper. So when you are traveling with... So for us, it's just because Jonah and I sometimes we have families that travel with us as well. So when it's myself and our family and Jonah, we, make sure that we're booking things ahead of time so that it's reasonable and so that, it won't be too expensive for everybody in the trip. If it's just Jonah and I, sometimes I do it last minute, like a week before even. I mean, Colombia, I think I booked it literally a week before.
Yeah, because we didn't know where to go.
Yeah, we didn't know, and it was like a last minute trip, but it worked out. And it was cheap. I found cheap tickets. I was literally searching I was on the Skyscanner app and just searching which countries to go to that were cheap for that week that we wanted to travel, because Jonah was off from school and I had a couple of days off from work, and it worked out, right?
Isn't like when you travel from the US, like far away, like to Asia or something?
Yeah.
Isn't it more expensive?
It's extremely expensive.
And then like when you go from like when we went to Colombia,
yeah,
that expensive?
Sometimes
cheap?
That could also be expensive. It just depends. But if you're going further away from the US, it's definitely more expensive. Yeah.
So like how about
Africa? I mean, how much are we paying to go to Eritrea now?
Like I don't like how much was it?
Like a lot. It's like mine is like 1,700 and yours is like 1,500 just for the ticket.
Whoa.
So it's very expensive when you're trying to go to Africa, to Asia, Europe even. But it just depends, because sometimes you will find really, really cheap tickets too.
Yeah, like if you like book it early, like then you might find cheap tickets.
Exactly.
But
and
if you
seasons.
do, like, last minute.
Seasons also matter. So so we're going to Eritrea, and we're going to Turkey first, and then Eritrea, right? And we are spending between Jonah and I, mine is 1,700 and Jonah's ticket is 1,500. But we're going for Christmas and New Year. And my cousin, who will be going after us, a week after us, which is after Christmas, his ticket is only $800.
Yeah, like because it's Christmas.
Exactly.
And it's gonna be really crazy, like book everything.
Yeah, everything is
Everyone's
booked.
Gonna
it's
go.
Peak season. So you don't want to do peak season. You try to stay away from peak season.
Try and not do winter is the most. Is that like
it's
the
easier?
most?
It depends where you go. Because sometimes people want to go to, like Switzerland or something to ski. So then they will be expensive during the winter because people go there to ski. Yeah, so like summertime, where do you want to go? Beach might be expensive then. So it just depends. So you got to see what country you're going to and research what are the peak seasons. You can buy all of our Jonah's Global Footprints book series directly on our website at tinyglobalfootprints.com. That's also where you can find Jonah's own best-selling kids books. His new book, What Does Daddy Do All Day, just hit the bookshelves. The next chapter of Jonah's Global Footprints series will explore Eastern Africa. Join us on life's adventure at tinyglobalfootprints.com.
So if you're going to Colombia and you're going there in the summer, so like Colombia, like you can go to the beach and like it's in the summertime, so it's really hot, sunny, it's a good day. But if it's like winter, then it might be cold. Then you wouldn't want to go, but it will still be cheap.
Yeah, it depends basically.
Where you're going.
It depends. Yeah, it depends what month you're going. It depends what season. Again, every country is different, so that's why. So another reason that people don't want to travel is they say that you can't enjoy vacation with children.
Don't you enjoy it with me?
Every time.
Yay!
So I don't know why people say that, because you can't enjoy it with children. Yes, when they're younger, when they're like babies, it's hard. You have to take care of diapers and all these strollers and everything else. So it's a bit difficult when they're younger, for sure. But after they turn 2, 3, it's easy, and you just, I just take him in my little bag, basically. I put him in my bag and then I go.
Well, now you can't put me in my bag
Not anymore. Now he's become a roommate because he is big. He's half my size. So, but when he was younger, it was definitely, a bit stressful, because as a parent, you have to think of, oh my God, if they get sick, what do I do? What happens with this? Let me take care of this. Let me take care of that.
Yeah,
and I still do that.
Tips.
Huh?
Like when we gave out tips.
Yeah, exactly. Like last time, like our last episode.
Like just in case, be near like a little
pharmacy.
Doctor,
Yeah.
pharmacy.
But just know where it is. It's always good to know.
Yeah,
where
you
it
don't
is.
have to be close to it. Just know where it is so that
If anything happens, then you know where to go.
Then you know.
Yeah, and then it's also good to research like what would happen. Like, is he, symptoms that that the kids would get from, is it a bad cold? Is it a stomach bug? That, you gotta check to see that region, like what do kids usually experience when they travel there. And then also it could just be something you eat and it just didn't agree with you, or the kids drink water and they're not supposed to drink water, stuff like that. So I would pay attention to those things for sure.
Yeah, like that happened to me in Thailand.
Yeah, what happened to you in Thailand?
Like, it was like this, well, it wasn't clean water.
Well, it was clean. We went to this massage parlor. Like, it was like a massage, Thailand, there's massage places everywhere. And so we went there, and then I was getting a massage, and then Jonah was sitting there, and I told him, don't drink the water, but I guess he got thirsty. And then he drank the water that the lady gave to him. It wasn't in a bottle. It was just a cup of water.
Yeah, like in a small cup.
In a small cup. And it was clean water. We looked at it. It was clean.
Yeah, like it was clear.
Yeah, clear and everything. But I said, anyway, he took a few sips and he got sick. Right?
Well, yeah, but it didn't hurt like in the plane or when we came back.
Yeah, it didn't hurt the day of or the next, no.
Or the next week.
No, it started hurting you after we got back, which is like a day after.
Like 1 or 2 days.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Back, it was like really, really bad.
Yeah, and he got really sick, and it wasn't good. I mean, Jonah has never been in a hospital ever after his birth, except that time, because when we got back, as soon as we got back from Thailand, his stomach wasn't okay. So it was definitely either that water he drank or something else that he ate that last day. So we couldn't figure out what it was anyway.
I thought when I drink water, we were at like the beach eating, like at the restaurant.
No, we were at the massage place. Yeah. So when he but it did not feel good for him, and it was really painful. But we survived it. We got back, and he was fine, and he got it out of his system.
And then right after that, I wrote 3 books.
Yes,
3 beloved books.
And and that's why we write these books, right? We write our travel books because
to share our experience.
To share our experience and say why it's important to travel with kids. All these things do exist. There is fear, and it can get expensive, and kids, you might think it's not going to be fun, but our books show that, like how, kids are able to overcome obstacles when they're traveling, how kids are able to enjoy it, and how you as an adult and as a parent will enjoy every minute of it with your kids as well, going to the beach and exploring new places, telling them stories about different things, and you too learning about the country that you're at. So it's always helpful and enjoyable when you travel with your kids. So I disagree with the terms traveling with your kids is not fun, basically.
It is really fun.
It is.
Well, that's a question for you.
I know. Another thing they say is, you just better stay home.
No.
You better just stay home because children need routine and structure.
They do need routine, but they also need to get out and explore the world. And not just stay in the United States of America and just not explore other countries. Like explore the world more.
Yeah, and enjoy it more, right?
Yeah, enjoy the world more. You can experience the new food, see their new clothing, their traditional culture, language. Those are the 4 things that I mostly learn when I go to places.
And you always try to learn how to say the simple phrases of hi, bye,
bye, like how are you doing today?
Because when you travel to countries, you want to respect their culture and their languages, and it makes it and they get very excited and happy that you're able to do that, right? Yeah. So with the part where it says like kids do need, again, structure and routine. However, kids also need to explore
the world.
Exactly.
And another thing is food.
What about food?
Food is like you want to experience new food instead of just staying like in America and eating hamburger and cheeseburger and pizza. like experience the new food and different cultures.
So
like for example, Eritrea. Like sometimes we eat shira with injera, and we sometimes eat ibsi.
These are different meals,
types
right?
of meals.
Yeah. So, and you enjoy that, right? Yeah, no, I agree with you. And it's very important to do that for sure.
Yeah.
But, there are families, when they're saying like kids need structure, there are families. So when he was younger, how we used to travel was, he was at home with a nanny. So we basically used to travel whenever I had time off from work is when we traveled. But now that he's gotten older and he's in school, now we have to follow my work schedule as well as Jonah's school schedule to make sure that we're traveling within those breaks, right? We can't just have you miss school to travel the world.
Just to travel.
Yeah.
That you would want to travel the world, but not like to miss school.
Yeah, exactly, because school is more important.
Yeah, school is more important.
Exactly.
You can do that like during the summertime when you're free.
Or spring break.
Spring break.
Christmas break.
Oh, Christmas break.
Yeah.
If we're not going like somewhere really, really cold.
Yeah, so, but there are families who also travel full time. They travel full time with their kids and they homeschool their kids. So for those families, they want to do that. They want to enjoy the world with their kids. And they, this family travel is a worldwide, thing, and everyone is enjoying it to the way that they want to.
Like
and
for those families, good job. Like you're showing your kids the world.
Yeah, and exposing them. So so they do need structure and routines, but that can be done even with those families who are just traveling and homeschooling their kids. They can still create that structure and routine that they want for their family. However, it works best for them. What works best for us is we have work and school, so we match our our travels basically to the vacation days that we have from school and from work, and and it works.
Yeah.
So we try to go to one trip or 2 trips a year out of the country.
Yeah, like sometimes we might take some road trip, but we want to go outside the country too.
Yeah, when we go outside the country, we try to do it twice a year. And sometimes, if like when COVID happened, where did we go? We didn't go anywhere 2020.
Yeah, but this year we did go to Colombia.
This year gotta go. We went to Colombia and during the spring break.
Spring
or
break. Summer.
I think it was before summer. So we went to Colombia this year, and now we're gonna go to
Eritrea.
Yeah, Turkey and Eritrea. Yeah, so the 3 countries.
Yeah,
yeah. We're making up for last year, basically.
Because we had 0 last year.
All right. Another thing that they say is that it teaches them family, how to handle how does it teach you how does it teach you to handle unexpected situations? So some things that you didn't expect and they happen, because from travel you get that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like when if you're
like when we went to Dubai.
Yeah, like sometimes like when you're working and you're just waiting for your flight to board, and so you're just working and then you don't hear because like they don't say on the microphone like what happened to you.
Yeah, that happened to me when I was going to South Africa. But I'm talking about when like Dubai is an example of we thought it was going to be only a couple of hours that we had to be at the airport, but we ended up being there a long time,
like 12 whole hours.
Yeah, and then we had to adapt to the situation because we had to get a hotel, and then we had to figure out where we're gonna go for dinner and all these things.
We're gonna eat.
Exactly. And Cuba, going to Cuba was another one. We talked about what happened on our last episode, but like we were stuck in Miami trying to go to Cuba because we didn't have the right documentation with us. So that was unexpected. And once we got to Cuba, we couldn't find our friends, which was another unexpected thing. And we just had to keep adapting to it. So, and when Jonah travels with me, he does adapt to it and he does help. And now that he's getting older, he's even helping with, navigating through these, hurdles that come up when you're traveling. So, it does happen, but you can also overcome these, little situations that are not planned. Right. Yeah. And
what else?
So another thing I think big thing is it's travel teaches you what cultural differences, like you said, and it shows you people differences, right?
Like their clothing.
Exactly. And learning and
Food.
self-confidence.
Self-confidence.
It teaches you patience as well, because flights get canceled all the time.
All the time.
And flights get...
That happened to us like 3 times.
Yeah, they get canceled, they get delayed, so it does teach you patience. And also when you're in the country, people operate differently when they're there. So sometimes when you're traveling, it can be very difficult because unexpected situations happen that causes delays.
Yeah, it causes a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So basically, in summary, I would say, what would we say? Bring your children along on all your travel adventures.
Yes.
Always. And it is so what? Worth it.
Worth it. Really worth it.
So worth it. And kids, it's enjoyable for kids.
So
it's enjoyable for the parents. Of course.
Because it's always worth it.
It's always worth it. And it expands their horizons. And what else is like they carry it with them. They do remember things. Like I said, Jonah remembers from Cuba on, and he was 3. So, and through pictures, through stories, and now our books, like he's able to remember these things. We have the ability to teach our kids how to remember these adventures that they go with us on. And so definitely worth it. And they will remember. And some things they won't remember, and that's okay because you experienced it with your kid, and it's you were able to grow your bond with them. So it's an amazing experience, and it's also unbreakable bond that you're creating by traveling internationally with your kids.
Yeah, like big moments, you always want try and remember those your best.
Yeah.
Like small moments. Oh, like we went to this restaurant, the food was good. Oh, you don't remember? Like 5 years later, it's okay if you don't remember those tiny things.
But you got to remember dipping into a volcano, right?
That.
In Colombia. And then what else?
When I was in South Africa, pet a cheetah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
What else?
And riding on a horse in Cuba.
In Cuba, riding a horse.
I was about to say Colombia.
I know. What else was so cool? Give me one last one.
And the elephant in Thailand.
Elephants in Thailand. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. I saved that one for the last.
Yeah, because you spent the whole day with elephants. You fed them, you washed them, and we spent the whole day with them. It was really cool. So these experiences, again, are memories that will last forever for you as a parent, and also for the kids themselves as well. So definitely recommend bringing kids to all your travels, even local travels, even road trips, flights, local flights as well. And it doesn't have to be all international flights.
Maybe not when you have a work trip.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you come on work trips.
Sometimes I do.
Yeah, and it's cool, and it's fun.
Yeah, like South Africa, you went for a work trip.
Yeah, exactly. So that was fun. So always bring them with you. It's worth it. It's exciting. They get so much from it. They gain a lot of self-confidence, patience. They learn how to navigate through unexpected situations. They grow from this. And then the biggest thing, you create that unbreakable bond. So bring your kids to all your trips. Thank you again for joining us on episode 9 and chapter 9 of our
Global Footprint Stories podcast.
And next one is the last episode
of the season.
Yeah, woo-hoo! Finale. And
season finale.
Yeah, we're excited for that. That's coming up.
Join us on the Global Footprint Stories podcast.
And you can find all our information what's our website?
tinyglobalfootprints.com.
And our Instagram is
Tiny Global Footprint.
Yes, follow us, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.